Hola chicos, hoy es lunes el 29 de marzo de 2021. Hoy tenemos para empezar, por favor, review your lección preliminar Quizlet. So, as you know, as I emailed you guys, we are taking our national Spanish exam on Thursday and Friday of this week. So today and tomorrow I'm going to try to prepare you as best I can. Now, I've been telling my students in person, you do not need to study for it. You do not need to stress about it. There'll be things on the exam that you don't know, and that's perfectly okay. This test is not tailored to our curriculum. It's just tailored to what they think majority of Spanish 1 students should know at this point. So if there's some vocab words that we haven't learned yet, no need to sweat, okay? If you get a question wrong, no worries, all right? It's just a time for you to do your best to show what you've learned and what you've got, and to see how you rank amongst the other students. Again, there's no penalty in my class if you get a bad grade. I'm considering giving extra credit if you do well, and you can get an award if you do well, which is something good to write in your applications and such. But no need to stress. It's good if you do well. If you don't do well, then no harm. All right? That being said, I am going to try to review with you guys a little bit what we've been learning so far this year just to get it fresh in our brains before we go to take it. And so the Lección Preliminar is a lot of stuff that is just basic Spanish that reading through some of the past tests, I see a lot of this vocabulary coming up. So please take time to review that Quizlet. Today's lesson, we're going to be reviewing adjectives, and we're going to be working on how to make nouns plural. I don't think we really hit on that pretty hard this year. We may have touched on it briefly, so I'm going to go back over that. But first, let me look at my in-person agenda. Oh yeah, the numbers. So first, let's just review numbers, because when I reviewed some of the past tests, they've asked you to actually spell out numbers. So maybe they picked the number 16 and they had you spell it out. Now, not only do you have to spell it out, but you have to write a correct accent. So just keeping, if we go over here, this commercial is distracting me down here. Can I exit this out? Probably not. Okay, we'll just ignore that. If I go over here and look at my numbers, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 through 10 are our most basic. We don't have to worry about any accents. The only numbers we have to worry about accents, chicos, are 16, 22, and 23, and 26. All right, so again, 16 is accented, 22 and 23 is accented, and then 26 is accented. The rest of our numbers, we don't accent. So just to review, we have after 10, we have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Our 20s are all combined, 21, 22, 23, etc. And then once we get to 30, we just get to say 30 and 1, 30 and 2, 30 and 3. Same when we go to 40, 40 y 1, 50 y 1, 60 y 1. It's going to be 3 separate words all the way until we get to cien. So just a number review. Make sure you study these and know how to spell these. We have 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Also, one thing I want you to do is, you can't describe your friends because you're an online learner, but go ahead and just look what you're wearing today and see if you can describe it in Spanish. So like for myself, I would say, yo llevo una camisa gris, ¿sí? Una camisa gris. Y yo llevo los pantalones azules, or I could also call them los jeans. Yo llevo los zapatos azules y grises. Y yo llevo unos calcetines amarillos, grises, y blancos. All right, so go ahead and try to describe what you're wearing. That'll be a good review for your colors and also your clothing. All right, sweet. So let's go ahead and go to our adjectives paper. I went ahead and uploaded the worksheet for you guys so you can fill out at the same time as I'm talking to you. This is just so you can have a good review of adjectives, but also be typing it down for your own personal review, learning, and growth. All right. So if you open that, go ahead and pop that open, and then we can go through this together. All right. So adjectives. We've learned so many adjectives this year, chicos, so this is just a review of all of them. All right. So an adjective is the word that describes a blank, which is a person, place, or thing. So what I want you to write in this blank is, you probably know it, it's a noun, okay? A word that describes a noun. In Spanish, all adjectives match the noun they describe. In both, do you guys remember what we need to match them to? Singular and plural is called number, and masculine versus feminine is called gender. Okay, so we need to match our adjectives and nouns in both number and gender. Singular and plural, masculine and feminine. Okay, I went ahead and just filled these in for us. But one thing that I want to point out is that we don't have to worry about gender at all until we get to the nosotros and vosotros forms. And again, this is matching what we are describing. It's matching the noun. It has nothing to do with who owns it, okay? So if I'm saying our cat, it's going to be nuestro gato. Even if all the group is female, I'm matching my adjective to the noun, which is gato. Okay, if I'm saying all of your guys's, let's see, all of your guys's classes, it'd be vuestras clases. Vuestras clases. So again, you got to think, what is the noun that I am describing? Match it to that. And then coming back with their, su or sus, okay? So everything else, we just have to think singular or plural. So I could say, me gusta tu gato, or me gustan tus gatos. Subject isn't changing of whose cat it is, but what, like the noun that is being possessed, not in like a creepy way, but that is what we have to focus on, okay? So maybe if we do some examples, it will make some more sense. So if I say, blank pantalones son azules, and I say my, I have to think, even though I am a singular person, the noun that I need to match it to is the pants, pantalones. So this should be mis. Mis pantalones son azules. Now coming over here, me gusta blank bicicleta. Her is su. Me gusta su bicicleta. And I'm missing a C here. Bicicleta. There we go. Necesitamos lavar our desks. So that's going to be nuestros escritorios. See how I'm matching this in number and gender to the noun I'm describing. Masculine and plural. And finally, blank hermana es muy inteligente. This one was supposed to be your. So your, and I'm just going to say your singular here. Your singular is just going to be tu or tus. Since hermana is singular, I'm just going to pick tu. Tu hermana is muy inteligente. Now you might say, hey, aren't I supposed to have an accent over the tu? No. When you have an accent over a tu, like this, I turn on my Spanish keyboard. If I ever see this, that means you. If I see this, that means your. Okay, your sister is very intelligent. So that's our possessive adjectives. Mi, tu, su, nuestro, vuestro, su. And then just to pluralize those, I'm going to add an S. All right? All right, number 2. Define article adjectives. Oh, definite article adjectives translate to the. You guys remember doing this? What are the definite article adjectives? Masculine is el, feminine would be la, plural is going to be los, and feminine is going to be las. Okay? And all these things mean the same thing, and it just translates as the. So if I want to say blank libro es muy aburrido, the book is very boring, I'm going to think, okay, what's the noun I'm describing? Libro. We know libro is singular and masculine because it ends in an O. Typically, words that end in an O are masculine. So we're going to say el libro es muy aburrido. Quiero ver blank televisión. Now this is hard because it ends in an A, it ends in an N rather than an O or an A. But I'll just tell you that anything that ends in this ION, think feminine. So this is la televisión, la conversación, la competición. All right, this EON or ION, feminine. All right. Quiero ver la televisión. No me gustan blank bibliotecas. We see this is feminine and plural because it ends in an AS, so we're going to say las. And here I'm talking about chicos. It's masculine and plural because it ends in an OS, so I'm going to say los chicos son muy artísticos. Hopefully we have this pretty down by now. But do we remember our indefinite article adjectives? They translate to a, an, or some. So here we're talking about a definite thing. The pizza is hot. Here we're talking about just something in general. I think I would like to eat a pizza later. I think I would like to see some movies. Okay, just unspecified. So masculine is un, feminine is una, masculine plural is unos, and feminine plural is unas. Un, unos, una, unas. So if I come down here, yo quiero comer, and I want to say I want to eat a hamburger, it ends in an A, so it's singular and feminine, una hamburguesa. Yo veo, okay, well this one ends in an E, so that's a conundrum for us, but we know hombre means man. Hombre is a masculine noun, so it's un. Yo veo un hombre en el restaurante. Mi papá quiere pedir blank papas fritas, some, so it's plural because it ends in an AS and it's feminine. So we're going to say unas. And mi tío necesita blank calcetines. And this ends in an ES, so again a conundrum for us. Here we just have to memorize that it's los calcetines. So we know that it's plural and masculine, so we're going to choose unos. Mi tío necesita unos calcetines. So I've used all of these. Un, unos, una, unas. My uncle needs some socks. Okay. So what I want you to do is go ahead and pause the video and try to fill in this paragraph on your own. Then unpause the video and we'll see how you did. Go. Alright chicos, welcome back. Hola, me llamo Felipe. Voy al restaurante para comer. So here we're thinking we got to know the context, right? I go to the restaurant to eat. Here it makes sense to say some tacos. You wouldn't say I'm going to the restaurant to eat the tacos because we're just talking about some tacos in general. So here I'd say unos tacos. Blank restaurante se llama tacos, tacos y más tacos. So here we're talking about a very specific restaurant that's name is tacos, tacos y más tacos. So here, since it's specific, it's a definite restaurant I'm talking about. It's el restaurante. The restaurant is called tacos, tacos y más tacos. You see the difference here? Here I want to eat some tacos. Here, the restaurant is called. Me gustan tacos mucho. Tacos son blank comida favorita. So would we say tacos are the favorite food? Tacos are a favorite food? I think here we would say tacos are my favorite food. Mi comida favorita. Blank amigos. So here we are saying my friends do not like to eat tacos. So here, mis amigos, matching it with amigos, my friends do not like to eat tacos. Y es muy triste para mí. Blank comidas favoritas son hamburguesas. So we just came off from talking about our friends, Now we're talking about my friend's favorite food. Remember, if I'm wanting to say their possessive adjective, that's su, but it's comidas favoritas, so it's plural. So I need to say sus. Sus comidas favoritas son hamburguesas. Por favor, somos llamas. No comemos hamburguesas. Con blank tacos voy a pedir blank refresco. So here he's saying, with the tacos, I am going to order a pop or a soda. So con los tacos, because now he's specifically talking about his tacos that he's ordering. Now, if he was saying with some tacos, I'll order a drink or I'll order a pop, that works too. So I could see los or unos both working here. Voy a pedir un refresco, a soda in general. And here, blank refresco favorito is Pepsi. So favorite soda is Pepsi. Here he's talking about himself. Mi refresco favorito, my favorite pop. Tengo una amiga, se llama Angie, or Angie. Now we're talking about her favorite drink, so it's going to be su, singular, because it is a singular favorite drink. Her favorite drink is Mountain Dew. Y tú, ¿cuál es blank refresco favorito? ¿Cuál es tu refresco favorito? What is your favorite drink? All right. This last activity for us, chicos, is just working with regular adjectives. Make sure that each adjective matches in number and gender with the noun it's describing. So here we have to think through, who am I describing? Are they singular, masculine? Are they singular, plural, masculine, or feminine? Okay? So again, pause the video, try to do it on your own, and then come back and I'll give you the answers. Yep. All right, hola, soy Garfield. Yo soy un gato perezoso. He's a lazy cat, okay? Un gato, singular and masculine. So perezoso, singular, masculine. Mi persona se llama John y el perro se llama Odie. Ellos son muy blank. So I'm talking about ellos. So ellos is plural and masculine. Ellos son muy enojados. They are very mad. A veces. Porque yo como todo su lasaña. Mi cabeza no es blank. Here we're talking about la cabeza. Now, la cabeza means the head. La cabeza no es, so if it's la cabeza, we know it's singular and feminine, so we change this to pequeña. Y mis piernas son muy, no, here I'm talking about las piernas. So very important to know when you're memorizing your vocab, the article adjective in front, so you can know is it singular, plural, masculine, or feminine. So here we would have memorized las piernas. Now I don't think we've done a parts of the body unit yet, but piernas are your legs. So las piernas son muy cortas. And there you go. So at the end of the day, what do you need to remember? The adjectives describe a noun and match in number and gender. Here are your possessive adjectives. Here are your definite article adjectives that mean the. And here are your indefinite article adjectives that mean a, an, or some. You will most likely see a lot of that stuff on your national exam. All right, last thing for today, chicos, I know this is taking a little longer than normal, is making nouns plural. Here are the basic rules of how to make nouns plural. When the word ends in a consonant, you're going to add an es. For example, papel goes to papeles. When the word ends in a vowel, you're going to add an s. For example, mochila goes to mochilas. Now, if the word ends in an ion, you're going to drop the accent when making it plural. Combinación goes to combinaciones. Decoración goes to decoraciones. If the word ends in a z, you're going to take off the z and add a ces, like lápiz goes to lápices, or I should say lápices, because we're keeping the accent above the a. So when you are making a word plural, you're going to want to maintain the original accent, just like this. Now you might say, well, what about the ION? If you think about it, you still are maintaining the original accent because, well, here it ends in an N, so we added an accent, so my last syllable is emphasized. And here it ends in an S. Remember, if a word ends in an N, an S, or a vowel, my second to last syllable is emphasized. So once we add another syllable by adding es combinaciones, my second to last syllable is stressed. So I no longer need to keep the accent. So if we look down here, la pluma, we see that ends in a vowel. So we just need to add an S. And we also need to make the article adjective plural as well. Las plumas. La universidad ends in a consonant, so we need to add es. Here we're just making la to las universidades. It even tells you what to write. La conversación, change it to las conversación, and we see it ends in an ION, so just like the rule says, we drop the accent when making it plural. Conversaciones. And la voz, that means your voice. Here ends in a Z, so I'm going to take off the Z and add a CES. Las voces. Voices. All right, chicos. So that is your worksheet. Now, just to look briefly at a practice exam, here's what it's going to look like, okay? This is the day one part. So part one's vocabulary. Like I said, we're not going to know every single vocab word, and that's okay. So we'll have questions for you like, Sofía blank frío y necesita un abrigo. So we've learned that tener frío means to be cold. So here we'd select tiene. She is cold and needs a coat. Generalmente la gente duerme en. So here, generally, la gente we haven't learned yet, but we do know duerme. We know means sleeps. So the key to this test is just trying to think, what do I know and how I can make my best educated guess. So we know we're working with sleeps, and we've learned pescado is fish, so that doesn't really make sense. Mochila is backpack, so that doesn't really make sense. Ventana is window, so that doesn't make sense. El dormitorio. That's not one of the words that we had, but it does look like dorm, and some of you guys did actually use it in your house presentations. So since none of these three make sense, we're going to choose the fourth, which is the right answer. Generally, the people sleep in the room or the bedroom. So again, it's all about just doing your best with what we've learned so far and not stressing it. But yeah, context clues. Mi color favorito es el morado, mundo, caballo, or sobrino. Hopefully we remember our colors from Unit 4 and we'd click morado. This one we'd probably struggle with, so I'm not going to go over that. Here, this is something we actually just learned. Ana, es la hora de comer. Puedes poner. We know poner la mesa means set the table, and puedes means can you, so we'd choose this. Okay, so I'm not going to go over all these questions with you, but you know that. Hopefully this gives you an ease of mind to know that, okay, you're not going to know everything, but you're just going to do the best with the context clues, and we actually have learned a lot this year. We've learned so much this year, so I'm excited to see how you guys do in comparison to the other people around the country. Now, this next part's grammar. I guess I already answered these questions when I was doing this earlier, but here they give you a drop down and they say blank tíos de Roberta son simpáticos. That's just what we were working on with our accents, or sorry, with our adjectives. So we know it's masculine and it's plural, so we choose los. Here's our question words that I'm planning on reviewing with us tomorrow. Blank is el hombre de la camisa roja. We choose quien, who is the man. This one's working with a DOP. All right, that's our question here. So we've learned direct object pronouns. Here we're working with prepositions. We haven't worked with those extensively, but we'll do our best. And here we're working with our possessive adjectives that we just reviewed. Yo tengo que estudiar con mi hermanita. I need to study, or I have to study with my little sister. We know it's going to be this one because it's singular and it's a possessive adjective. All right. Then there's some more questions about grammar. Here's where I was talking about the fill-in where you're going to have to type in like numbers, write out the number in Spanish, spelling it correctly. This is the one they're trying to get you on, right? Yes, you say, so that needs an accent. Now they do give you a accent bar if you go to the top and you can click to float, then you can bring it down with you. So that's going to help you typing on your test. Sarah versus a star, we've worked on that. Present tense verb conjugation, we've been working on that. Plurals, that's just what I taught you guys today. You have homework on that. Okay, so as you can see, I think we're pretty well prepared for this national Spanish exam. So I'm looking forward to it. We're going to prepare more for it tomorrow. Your homework tonight, chicos, is this thing called plurals. You're going to go to a quiz on studyspanish.com. Take it until you get 100%. Screenshot it and then send it in to me. Thank you, chicos, for hanging in there. I know this has been a long lesson. Thanks for all your hard work. You honestly have come so far in Espanol. So please be proud of yourselves. Hasta mañana, chicos. Y adios.